In the late 1960s, a silent, invisible killer was winning the war against modern medicine. We thought we had conquered malaria. Chloroquine, the wonder drug that saved millions, was now useless. The parasite had evolved, and resistance was rampant. Millions faced death with no viable pharmaceutical treatment left in the Western arsenal. Modern science had failed. Research labs screened hundreds of thousands of synthetic compounds. They used the most advanced chemistry, algorithms, and computational power to find a new structure, all for nothing. The solution wasn't in a supercomputer or a billion-dollar laboratory. It was buried in a 1700-year-old medical textbook from ancient China. Chinese scientist Tu Youyou, leading a massive government effort, was tasked with finding a cure. She turned to tradition. Her team screened over 2,000 traditional herbal recipes and found a reference to Qinghao, sweet wormwood, to treat fever. When they tried to isolate the active ingredient using the standard method, boiling the plant, they consistently failed. The extreme heat destroyed the delicate chemical structure of the compound. They went back to the original source text, Zhou Bei Ji Fang, written by Ge Hong. The critical passage mentioned simple immersion in cold water, not boiling, to treat the intermittent fever. The ancient preparation was a gentle, low-temperature squeeze, a methodical process. The herbalist would soak the fresh plant in cold water and ingest the expressed juice in its raw state. By strictly adhering to this ancient methodology, the modern scientists preserved the fragile active ingredient. They successfully isolated the critical life-saving compound, Artemisinin. Artemisinin was a chemical anomaly, a complex structure with a unique peroxide bridge. This specific structure had never been seen in conventional synthetic drug screening. Tu Youyou volunteered to be the first human subject to test the isolated compound, demonstrating her confidence in the method. The compound was rushed into global trials across Southeast Asia and Africa. The initial results were staggering. The compound was overwhelmingly effective where all previous Western drugs had failed. The final, perfected methodology was the development of Artemisinin combination therapies, or ACTs. This dual approach ensured the parasite could not develop resistance quickly enough. This methodology quickly became the first and second line of treatment recommended globally by the World Health Organization, or the WHO. Artemisinin is credited with saving millions of lives worldwide. This victory earned Tu Youyou the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 2015.
She was the first Chinese citizen to win a Nobel in science without a medical degree or training abroad. The initial discovery was part of a secret national effort, Project 523, mandated by the government in 1967. The goal? Find a cure for malaria to protect soldiers fighting in Vietnam, where the resistant strain was rapidly spreading. The effort involved over 60 different institutions and was decentralized due to the immense national challenge. Ancient Chinese understanding malaria viewed as an invasion of Wai Xie, exogenous evil, or Nui Qi, malaria gas. This historical understanding, though primitive, provided a clear target for the modern researchers, a pathogen to be expelled. Tu Youyou was unique, trained both in modern pharmacology and full-time traditional Chinese medicine. This allowed her to bridge the two methodologies, realizing the flaw wasn't in the herb, but in the modern extraction process. Initial trials using solvents like ethanol also failed to yield active ingredients. It was the critical return to the original low-temperature wringing out method that finally provided the successful material. The extraction yielded a much higher concentration of the active ingredient, proving the ancient method was chemically superior for this specific compound. The success was reported at the nationwide Project 523 meeting in 1972, confirming the breakthrough to the entire country. The ultimate lesson? The billion-dollar failure of synthetic chemistry was solved by recognizing the transformative value of a 1,700-year-old methodology. The truth is that we need both. We need ancient methodology to find the compounds and modern science to test, refine, and distribute them globally. Around 40% of pharmaceutical products today draw from nature and traditional knowledge. This includes landmark breakthroughs like aspirin, derived from willow bark, used to treat fever and pain. And numerous childhood cancer treatments trace their origins to the pink periwinkle plant. The untold truth is that ancient methodologies provide the verified starting point that conventional synthetic chemistry often misses.
But history contains vital warnings. Another ancient plant shows the deadly consequence of ignoring conservation: silphium. Silphium, native only to a narrow strip of land in ancient Cyrenaica, modern Libya, was the most valuable plant in the Roman world. It was used as a key spice, a potent medicine, and even a form of early natural contraceptive. Julius Caesar stored a reserve supply of it in the Roman state treasury, treating it like gold bullion. Its methodology was fragile. Silphium only flourished in the wild and could not be successfully cultivated. Its scarcity drove up demand, making it even more profitable to over-harvest. Tenant farmers, desperate to meet the immense demand, ignored the strict harvesting regulations, destroying the plant's roots and habitat. Pliny the Elder reported that the final stock of silphium was presented to Emperor Nero as a curiosity, a self-inflicted medical loss. The precious knowledge of its specific uses survived, but the source material, the core methodology, was extinct. The tragedy of silphium is the counterpoint to Artemisinin. One methodology was rescued, the other was murdered by greed. The lesson for modern medicine is clear. The exploration of traditional knowledge must be paired with aggressive conservation and respectful partnership. The untold truth of Artemisinin is a testament to the power of overlooked knowledge and a critical reminder that history is not obsolete.
This is the Anomaly Script. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden histories and methodologies that define our world, please subscribe now.
Next week, we investigate how African was ancient Egypt. Click on the thumbnail to watch it now.